This mysterious satellite photograph has caught the attention of many. The photographs were captured by a Google satellite and were taken on an island in the Pacific Ocean. What's particularly interesting about this is that the island is far away from any human civilizations. The abandoned and isolated island doesn't have anyone nearby, so people are wondering what this strange object is. The alleged crash site caught the attention of many amateur researchers, who went on to say that this could possibly be an unidentified flying object, and said that you can even see skid marks behind it. As mentioned, the island is pretty much in the central Pacific. It's surrounded by nothing but the ocean. Users have said that if it's something like a ship or a piece of plastic, how has it managed to leave skid marks hundreds of feet in length across the whole island? Others carried on from this and said the object in question is around 40 to 50 feet in diameter and must be heavy or crashed, as it was able to leave deep skid marks in the ground on the island, saying that it can't just be on the surface, as satellites were able to detect this thing from space. For years now, believers have said that there's certain locations where these types of discoveries are being made, and that when first looking at them they do appear to be in the shape of a UFO, noting that many of these can allegedly be found in places like Antarctica, and they too leave behind these strange skid marks. This discovery also reminded some of the Baltic Sea anomaly, which is an alleged craft that crashed into the Baltic Sea and that has the overall appearance of a spaceship, with those that discovered it saying that when you go over the top of the anomaly, it interferes with electronic devices. Not everyone is convinced though. This person said the following: "It's hard to know how much of the island is elevated, and whether something man-made would be able to travel across the island. What I will say is that it's not uncommon to see man-made things wash up on an island out in the middle of nowhere. If I had to guess, I would say this is part of a ship that washed up on the island, and due to winds and perhaps slight erosion of the island, it was able to travel across and leave this skid mark." End quote. Regardless of the origins of this object, it still creates an interesting discussion, and that's where do these strange crafts come from? Since the first reports of flying saucers were made over the past few centuries, many people have given their opinions on what they think they are, and where they come from. Over the past few decades, after an endless amount of gathered reports have been made, there have been a few widely accepted theories surrounding the origin of the flying saucers, and their primary reason for visiting humanity. One interesting comment that keeps coming up is that either way you look at it, humans are being lied to. Those who've looked into and studied these crafts have said that officials say they're not real, but if that's the case, it means that they belong to us. And if they belong to us, it means that humans have crafts that are able to travel at tens of thousands of miles per hour, and that we're being lied to on a daily basis about the kinds of craft we have at our disposal. So either way you look at it, whether they belong to us or not, we are still being kept in the dark about these mysterious flying objects. Believers though have said that unless 99% of us are being kept in the dark, it's unlikely that these things belong to us, and that the more accepted explanation is that these crafts are either visiting us from outer space, or they live within our oceans, a theory that's currently getting more acceptance, after officials have come forward and said that many of these crafts have been observed coming from our oceans. Regardless of where you sit on the spectrum, it's no secret that some of these reported crafts are real, and that they are able to do things that we can't explain. Military officials have said that these crafts are often tracked by jets and other pieces of military tech, and that very rarely are they able to catch up to them. And when they do chase them, they've reported that they can fly at incredibly fast speeds, or in some cases they've been observed splitting off into various different balls of light, then flying off into different directions. It's testimonies like this that have caused some to say that we have no idea what these things are, and that we can't begin to understand how they're created and where they come from. Pilots have often detailed their encounters with these mysterious crafts, and have said that sometimes they don't even bother reporting what they see, as they'll often be judged, and could even be demoted from their current position. It's an interesting time in regards to these mysterious flying crafts, as many have pointed out that even officials are starting to discuss them and where they're coming from. Although some believers are happy with how the topic is being brought into the mainstream media, they've still said that there's a lot of classified documents that the public doesn't know about, and that some of these need to be released to the general public, so that we can start moving forward. So what do you make of this alleged crash site? Do you think it's a downed unidentified flying object, or could this be something man-made like a piece of a ship? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below. It'd help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.